Our next guest is going to make it go faster to 2 o'clock. Sal Castaneda, KTVU news anchor, and KTVU will be having the 49ers game on Fox, on Channel 2, local, region. What's up, Sal? How you doing?
Sal.
Steiny Guru, what's up, fellas? I'm always feeling better on a Friday. You know that.
Yeah, so you're done. Your weekend has already started. Is that correct?
It started at 10:05 this morning when I took my IFB and my microphone off, and walked out, loosened my tie, a la Mike Meeback. He took his tie off immediately. He was taking his tie off like 30 seconds after the broadcast. I kind of stole that from him. I'm out.
Nice. Well, Sal, if people don't know, you are a Bay Area native, a San Francisco native. You grew up as a 49er season ticket holder to the Giants, big Warrior fans. We got a big Warrior fan. We got, I want to hit all the teams with you. So first, let's talk about the Niners. Let me ask you this. In your newsroom and sports department, are people going back and forth about whether Brock Purdy's really good or whether he needs to keep it up? Is that a discussion among your peers?
Well, I don't think it's that they're doubting him, but, the NFL does get the book on players after a while, right? And there's a feeling that defenses haven't figured him out yet, and they will, and he'll come back down to earth. I mean, that's what some people are saying. But other people are saying he's the real deal. But, I mean, there are a few people out there who say that the defenses, in the sports department anyway, will, they eventually will adjust and get the book on him. He doesn't have a strong arm, strong enough for some people. In this offense, I happen to disagree. I think he's perfect for this offense. But if you're asking what some of the people are saying in the newsroom, it's like, well, what if he has to throw, over the top? What if he really has to get aggressive? Can he do that? And I guess he hasn't proven it to enough people yet. It's early. I mean, he certainly looked good last week against Pittsburgh, but I think it's going to take some time. I think it's going to take one more season of him. And I do think the fact that he was picked last in the draft sticks with people sometimes. Is it fair? No, I mean, it doesn't mean he's doing what he's doing, but we ran a story today that he's the last one picked in the draft, going up against a quarterback this weekend who was picked first in the draft. So, that's still a thing. That's always going to be a thing until he becomes, if he becomes the next Tom Brady or whoever, right?
Sal, you're a lifelong 49er fan, and breaking news here, I can get extreme with my opinions, and our friend Steiny will tell you that. But when I found out we're having you on, I thought to myself, Sal's lived it all. Just like my friends and family, they used to have this saying, when the Niners go to the Super Bowl, Sal, we win. Not so much lately, and I tell Steiny, in my world, it's Super Bowl or bust. I feel that from a fraction of the fan base. Walk us through how you're going through this season mentally. Like, what are your expectations, and would you be disappointed if somehow they don't get back to right the wrong that happened against the Eagles last year in the championship game?
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the Eagles. They beat the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl, and yet they didn't win the Super Bowl. And so, whatever, they had a nice season, they had a nice playoff run, but they did not win the Super Bowl. And that's how every team feels when they don't, it's nice to be mentioned, but the only people who are mentioned after all is said and done are the winners, or whether it's fair or not. And yeah, I would be disappointed because, the 49ers obviously have gone all in. Everyone talks about windows, right? This seems to be the window where all these guys are hitting peak. There's no such thing as a rebuilding year here with these players. At some point, maybe a few years down the road, wherever we get there will be rebuilding and the Niners' expectations will be lower. But how can you have any other expectation other than winning it all? And I think Kyle Shanahan, people are they want him to win one. Once he wins one, I think it's going to be easier for him to continue doing his thing.
Sal Castaneda joining us on 95.7 The Game, KTVU news anchor, Channel 2 locally, and you can watch the 49ers game there starting at 1:05 on Sunday. I know you were a Giants season ticket holder for a while, and I know you still go to games here and there. Greg Johnson, the owner, has said that Farhan Zaidi and Gabe Kapler will be back in 2024. as a Giants fan? Give me your reaction.
I mean, I like it. You know, Susan Slusser broke the story yesterday, and my reaction was, okay. I mean, it'd be like, you know, pulling them now right when you're beginning to see signs of the young kids, and, you know, I use that term loosely, younger than me, everyone is, when the kids are beginning to do their thing, when you finally, you know, see that Farhan's choices have made it through the system and are coming up. This was a surprise year. I had really low expectations this year for the Giants, just because I knew that, you know, essentially all the World Series team is now gone almost, and we're starting over. And what the Giants haven't done, they've never admitted, and I've been following them for a long time, they never admit that they're rebuilding, right?
Right. So
it has to come, and this is the closest I've felt to rebuilding, and they're off to a good start. I don't think that you would pull someone right now. By the same token, I don't think these guys have unlimited, you know, it's not like, I think Bochy had a lot more of a window. I think that Kapler has 1 or 2 more years, and so does Zaidi, to see what they can do. But why would you pull them right now? I heard someone saying they want some regime change. For what? I mean, you know, really, right now, right before you think it's going to get good? They're still in the battle for the last wild card spot.
Yeah, Sal, but they don't have a Barry Bonds. They don't have a Gerald Buster Posey. And I'll say this, I'm more disappointed in Farhan than Kapler, because Farhan's the guy that, you know, he gets the groceries, and they haven't been able to solidify and close that deal to get a guy that, you know, young kids can say, hey, Mom, I want to go see Sal Castaneda, the new hot shot on the Giants. And I feel like they failed at that.
You know, I think you're right about that, just because from a business standpoint, think about it. You had Barry Bonds that people came out to see. You had Tim Lincecum, who didn't play every day, but, people came out to see him. He filled the seats. You had Buster Posey. You have to have someone who basically puts butts in the seats. You know, if we had a superstar, I shouldn't say we because I'm not on the team. If the Giants had a superstar that people could go see, I think you're absolutely right. That seems to be the last piece. So you are right. I think that every team needs a draw, someone who preferably who plays every day, who the fans can get behind. For such a long time, it was Bonds, and then you had Lincecum, and you had Posey, and you had a couple of others that people came out to see. You're right; they don't have someone like that. I think that's the last piece. If the Giants start playing well enough to deserve, having a free agent consider coming to San Francisco, then I think we're going to get that. And what, in my opinion, what needs to happen is the kids need to start playing better. And they're, right now they're vying for a playoff spot. So more of this needs to go before, some baseball player is going to want to come here and spend his time.
Great stuff, Sal. Appreciate you hopping on. Have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll watch a game Sunday together.
Yeah. Let's get it going, guys. Hey, Guru, keep him honest. You know that.
Yeah, you know how I do it. I try to. Steiny, I got a real non-sports question I want to fire to Sal. Maybe I'll text it to him, or just tell me if we got enough time. I'll ask him now.
Your show,
Sal. I love you to death, and I mean this. I'm born and raised out here. Is there more crime because there's video of it in the Bay, or do you help me? What are you seeing? Because it's really starting to bother me.
I believe there is more crime. I also believe that we're more aware of it because of video, but I also, if you look at stats, there's definitely more crime. And what worries me about crime is that, once they put, let's just say they take care of retail crime, well, criminals will try and do something else. But, I think more people are aware of it. You're getting sick of it. I think that the cities have, just the other day, we had the mayor of Oakland on, and, our interviewer really kind of went at her and said, hey, people are getting tired of it. And I think all the mayors, not only here in the Bay Area, but across the country, it's kind of a crime wave.
Yeah.
People are beginning to feel the pressure, and hopefully government will do something about it.
Good stuff.
All right, Sal. Appreciate it, buddy.
I'm going to keep you honest.
All right, that's Sal Castaneda, KTVU news anchor. You can watch the 49ers game locally on